Since the start of the pandemic and quarantine, single releases have drastically changed. And by that, I mean that more and more independent artists just like you are releasing their music. This is why it's so extremely important to get the marketing right for your new releases. All too often, I see super talented music creators releasing new music without having any freaking idea how to properly build out a successful release ecosystem. With that being said, I wanted to create a free training video for you guys here on YouTube that you can use as sort of a checklist when it comes to releasing new projects. So make sure to take notes. Stick around to the end of this video because there's going to be a lot of knowledge and a lot of information that you cannot afford to not be implementing. So let's jump into it. What's going on, guys? adamivy, sellmusic.com. This one's going to be a fun one. All right, so I need you guys to understand that when you're getting ready to release new music, the music itself is the main hub as far as the product goes, but there's a surrounding set of steps that we need to be doing to ensure that our release has the best possible chance of being heard and then building up that momentum once the song is released. So look at these steps as far as building an ecosystem and a supporting cast of actions. Now, the first thing I want to address is distribution of your audio and your visuals. Now, if you're planning to release to Spotify, for example, you'll want to submit your project for distribution at least a few days before it'll actually go live. No last minute submissions like 24 hours before you're telling your audience that it's going to go live. Don't do that, please. And if you're wanting to submit your release for playlists and blogs, you'll want to schedule out that public release date at least 2 to 4 weeks to make sure that you actually have time to reach those curators and those editors, blog owners, and so forth. But we're going to get into that a little bit later in this video. Now, you can distribute your releases to all the major platforms using a service such as DistroKid, who I personally recommend. This video is not sponsored by them or anything, even though I love DistroKid and I recommend them to all of our Sell Music Masterclass students. If you're interested in signing up or finding the best possible pricing for DistroKid, just go to distrodiscount.com. You'll be taken care of. Anyway, when it comes to visuals, it's not necessary to have a full-blown music video done at the same time that you're submitting your music for distribution. However, it is important to have a game plan structured out and scheduled as far as releasing visuals in the form of photos and videos to really help support the release of your new music. Too many times I see people releasing their music and then like 8 months later, they try to go out and drop a music video for that same release when the momentum is already kind of come and gone and they've missed the window of opportunity. So if you have your visuals ready, your release date, or soon after, I should say. You don't have to have it done on the release date, but soon after, that's all I'm saying. And speaking of visuals, it's super important to construct a promotional content calendar to have a clear plan of attack. Now, as far as marketing your actual release on social media, this should include your pre-launch strategy all the way up to the launch of the actual release, then followed up with what I like to call the post-launch push. Doing this is going to build momentum and awareness around your new release while giving you the opportunity to connect with those fans and new followers across all the different platforms of your choice. Now, when you're creating your new content calendar across the platforms, think about the 3-week rule: pre-launch, launch, and then post-launch. Now, I say platforms of choice because I really don't believe in being omnipresent and trying to build a huge audience everywhere on every single platform, everything that is like new and evolving. Unless you have a team working for you, I don't think that's a great idea. I usually suggest choosing 3 platforms that you're really comfortable with and then really focusing your energy on building those. Again, here's the rule of 3. Choose 3 main platforms to grow on and focus your single release on. Also consider using automations to help you with your pre-launch, launch, and then post-launch. Team Adamivy, including myself, we use later.com to schedule major releases and launches of products and business and posts and all the good content that you guys keep coming back for. Now, Later is not sponsoring this video. In fact, I don't think they even have an affiliate link. So don't get me wrong, there's a ton of other automation platforms out there, but we specifically like later.com, and using the automation platforms frees up a lot of time for you to then interact with your audience. As your single is releasing, this is super important. Think of these automation tools as like part-time employees in your business. They save you time and give you the ability to focus on other things while they work for you in the background. So later.com works like this. It allows you to pre-write and schedule posts out to almost all the different social platforms. So you can sit down on a Saturday or Sunday, for example, and prepare each phase of your upcoming single release. Now, a great way to leverage your pre-launch is by funneling your audience over to a mailing list. If you don't currently have a mailing list, I suggest starting with a service such as MailChimp. Again, not a sponsor, but they have a pretty nice free membership that has a lot of features, and it'll get you started in the right position, right? I recommend this to a lot of people. You can build out your landing page directly through MailChimp or embed your mailing list sign up form into your website with a little bit more integration, and you can be a little bit more fancy. Side note, another form of media that you should have is definitely a website. It's extremely professional. I should say it's extremely unprofessional not to have one, but it can be a hub for all your socials. There are fairly inexpensive ways to create a website by simply using the drag and drop editor over on Wix or Squarespace, for example. Again, not sponsored. So Adam, how the heck do I build a list? Well, I'm glad you asked. In order to build that list, we can build it up by offering early viewing of our upcoming music video to anyone who is part of the community and signs up for your list. We could promote behind the scenes content to that list of members that you don't share with anybody else, right? You're very exclusive with the people on your mailing list. You can give them discounts to upcoming shows and merch and all that good stuff. It's whatever you feel is going to resonate with your audience, and give them a reason to join your list. From there, you just have to follow through on those offers because integrity is everything. Look, email marketing is going to be a huge part of your success, and it blows my mind how many musicians completely overlook this when it comes to their marketing strategy. So just practice testing different things out. Always be testing, as we say here. Building a mailing list will give you direct access to your audience, which is really powerful, especially if you lose access to socials, which we've all seen. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're planning on submitting your music to Spotify playlists and blogs, then it's a good idea to upload your release a few weeks before you plan on going live to the public with them. Now, we're doing this for a couple main reasons, right? First and foremost, so many people are submitting their music to curators these days that it takes them a little longer to review because we're not living in 2015 anymore. Imagine your full-time job is going through over 500 emails a day. I'm talking about 500 songs a day. And you're responsible for reviewing all of those songs and then being really good at putting them on the right playlist and declining the others. It's a full-time job, like I said, and it takes time. So with that being said, most blogs and playlists want access to your music before the public gets their hands on it, and they need time to prepare the release. Think of new music as breaking news, right? Every network fights for the chance to break the juiciest story of the day before it comes old news. Same goes for the playlists and blogs featuring your music. Now, submitting your music to blogs and playlists can be done in a bunch of different ways. And so there's not just one step-by-step tutorial that one person can follow and everybody's going to have positive results. Do your due diligence based on your genre, what you're looking to accomplish, and then use a service such as Submit Hub or find curators' contact info directly, save a bunch of money, by the way, by using a super affordable tool such as Playlist Supply, which I'll include a link to in the description box below this video. Now, one thing I want to throw in is that I think you guys need to pay attention to making sure that your music is copyrighted and then registered with a pro. If you believe in it or not, I'll put it this way. If you believe in it and you're excited for the release, it's worth the extra time and a little bit of financial resources. Doing this ensures that you're going to protect yourself on the track and receive your compensation if the song really takes off and starts getting some radio spins. For clarification, you're still going to earn your streaming revenue without the song being registered to a pro or legally copywriting it with the actual. I'm talking about copywriting it here in America. If you're overseas, the international copyright law is a little bit different. So do a little Google searching, right? But I think if we do things the right way up front, we can avoid issues later. And just having that peace of mind that it's been registered, if somebody goes out and steals it or you start getting radio spins, everything's like already in order. This is super important. Now, for the record, before you guys start freaking out in the comments section, if you've created and recorded music, then you're already technically covered in the copyright sense, right? Technically, you have a copyright protection on your intellectual property, which is music. But by submitting that to the Copyright Office and spending a few dollars here and there and taking a little bit of time, you're officially registered. Again, peace of mind. Now, a pro, I know I kind of ran through that in the last bit here, but the pro is a performance rights organization. The two that I'm sure that you've heard of that are commonly discussed are ASCAP and BMI. There are a couple others. All right, now this is where most people drop the ball, so please pay attention. Listen, take notes. Most people spend all their time and resources working to release one song. They act as if that one song is their meal ticket right there. That's the finish line. It's going to go viral. That's typically how independent and small artists release music, which is also why a high number of them fail. Once we have a release plotted out and scheduled, what we have to start doing is building out the groundwork for the follow-up release. Prepare to put out another single. You see this time and time again when it comes to the music industry. Huge artists, established artists such as Billie Eilish, Drake, Beyonce, even the Punch Brothers, for example. Music is meant to be shared and enjoyed, but we're also responsible as the creator for providing more to our audience. I'm not saying that we have to become a robot or act like we're a factory of music, but just being consistent in single releases ensures that we're going to be able to successfully launch with building momentum. That follow-up material, we don't want to lose out on that momentum. Then we'll be starting from scratch like a lot of people do over and over again. They have these spikes. Single. Oh my God, it's exciting. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Single. Oh my God, it's exciting. Nothing. And you have to build like this. Short-term spikes are deadly. In a perfect world, you could be releasing a song every 6 weeks, give or take. 3 weeks for when you're releasing a single, 3 weeks off, and then you're pushing new content interruptions where you're sharing your normal music and your branding stuff. Here's the thing. Doing everything last minute is something of the past, especially if you want to develop a sustainable, successful, long-term music-based brand. Now, I'm sure you've heard this time and time again. It's kind of cliche, but if you fail to plan, then ultimately you really do plan to fail. As I mentioned earlier in the video, there's one little trick that you can implement to give yourself an unfair advantage when it comes to releasing new singles. And that's studying your analytics as well as your social trends to determine the best days to go live with your new releases. As you might already know, major artists release their songs typically on Fridays because Billboard does their tracking from Friday all the way to Thursday of the following week, and that's their week. So releasing new music on Friday gives those artists a full week to have their stats tracked. This might also be great if you have a full-time job or if you're in school and you can actually work during the week and then release it on a Friday so you have the weekend to be more active with your promotions. Now, on the other side of the coin, you could also release your music single on, let's say, a Monday or a Tuesday, which would give you less competition to promote against since Friday is typically the day where everybody's dropping their new music. So keep both strategies in mind as well as knowing when an upcoming holiday is or major social events that could be pretty distracting to people, such as Christmas, New Year's. If something big is going on like an election, you might not want to drop new music on a holiday or a big event like that. Okay, so if you've made it this far in the video, first and foremost, thank you. But I want you to put it out into the universe that your next release is going to be the best ever. So in the comments, I want you to write, "My music will be heard around the world." I want you to put it out into the universe, and usually the universe will deliver if you put in the work and give it some time. So after you've got your single release all planned out and your posts are ready to go, you've submitted your songs to those playlisters, and you're in full swing when it comes to that pre-release mode, you need to reach out to your followers to help you promote your single. Create a pre-save message for pre-launch and during the launch week before your single releases. Once your single releases, then create a post-launch message to send to your followers and to go stream your single to support, and it shouldn't be spammy. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And another thing that is tried and true is to get your fans to follow through on supporting your single is to offer them something after they follow through. And I know that it could add up, but just follow me here. For example, if they share your single to their Instagram story or use your audio in their YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram reel, send them some merch, such as a free sticker pack, which costs very little money. Or maybe you send them a hand-signed note. Again, integrity is everything. Just make sure to follow through on what you promise. Here's the thing, guys. Releasing new music, releasing that new song that you've worked really hard on is a big deal. This is why it's important to make sure that you have an organized plan of attack in order to get the most momentum possible without dumping loads of money into shady promo companies or ineffective ad campaigns. Don't get me wrong. Paid marketing campaigns have their place too, but I'll save that for another video. Now, if you have liked what you've learned up to this point, this is going to help you go to the next level as well when it comes to your brand and your music success. So click on that video, and I love the fact that you've joined me. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the channel family here. And if you want to start a conversation, I'm most active right now on Instagram. Come shoot me a DM. Until the next video, guys, I appreciate you watching.